Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
At night, so many dreams gone out like light. Youths them caught in a system cold, chasing shadows that take their soul. But the rhythm of hope is strong. Feel the beat it guide us along. Plant the seed of change in the ground, and reap the fruits of love from this song. I'm sure we can rise from the shadows as we shine. Through the pain and the sorrows, leave the darkness behind. Youths and the future, let the healing begin. In the rhythm of we island, let love pull us in. So come from the dust till dawn, as we rise up every morn. We'll fly through the skies like plane, all people will rise again. Hand in hand is how we'll start. Everyone can play their part. Man, woman and child come in, let the cleansing begin. Real hard, crime and murder driving we mad, and the youths youths them can't find no work, cause the system take them for joke. Let the positive fight control. We must not lose sight of our goal. In spite the stress and the strain, let us build our country again. I'm sure we can rise from the shadows as we shine. Through the pain and the sorrow, leave the darkness behind. For the youths and the future, let the healing begin. In the rhythm of the island, let love pull us in. So come from the dusk till dawn, as we rise up every morn. We'll fly through the skies like plane. Our people will rise again. Hand in hand is how we'll start. Everyone can play their part. Man, woman and child come in. Let the cleansing begin. Politicians drive the nice car, while the poor man bite the finger. Oil money blow away like dust. The people don't know who to trust. But every crisis we will master and rise to triumph from disaster. We will cast the evil away. We make the solemn pledge here today. I'm sure we can rise from the shadows as we shine. Through the pain and the sorrows, leave the darkness behind. For the youths and the future, let the healing begin. In the rhythm of the island, let love pull us in. So come from the as we shine. Through the pain and the sorrows, leave the darkness behind. For the youths and the future, let the healing begin. In the rhythm of the island, let love pull us in.
Yes, in the rhythm of the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, let the healing, let the cleansing, let the loving begin. Good morning to you, Trinidad. Good morning to you, to Tobago. Neighbors in the Caribbean, how are you doing this morning? Everything good? Hope everything is coming along A-OK. Good morning to our friends and family who are streaming all around the globe, wherever you may be in your different spaces and time zones. We want to take some time to welcome you all to New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. This is where we take you above and beyond. Much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing on to you. People, I am your Shirley Sir Charles checking in, and happy am I to be in your company in this space as we welcome you to your Get Up and Go. Everybody, welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Good morning, good Monday morning actually, and welcome to the Breakfast Show on this Monday morning, the beginning of the work week. I know it can be hard getting up, especially if it's a little rainy this morning. But welcome to the Breakfast Show wherever you're joining us from, wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago, up the Caribbean, or across the planet, wherever you are. A big good morning to you, and depending on where you are on the planet, good afternoon or good night. Good morning to my co-hosts, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning, guys.
Well, good morning, Richard. Good morning, Wendell, and everybody else tuning in wherever you may be. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning, Richard, and good morning, Sir Charles, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And don't forget those in that solar system that is passing our way. We want to say a special good morning to you all from the Breakfast Show, and of course from Professor A.V. Loeb. A special good morning. All right?
Yeah.
Pass peacefully, and please try and save a few of us.
At last.
You can take me when you're going. I don't mind. I know you're coming for Richard, but you could take me too.
Why would you be coming for me?
Because you're one of them.
Yeah, but I have a mission to fulfill.
It didn't fulfill it?
It looked like it fulfilled yet.
Anyway, we're happy to be in the land of the living. We've had several very unfortunate incidents over the past few days with killings and so on, that some of them have been caught on camera. But I don't want to spoil the good news. But let me just wish some people happy birthday. Alderman Wade Coker, he's from the Port of Spain Corporation. Apache Richards, he's really Curtis Richards. He migrated from Trinidad and Tobago years ago. Hayden Anthony Alexander, he used to be an alderman at the Tunapuna Piako Corporation. Kavinash Ali, Andrew Ramroop, Robinson Manswell, Gary Cox, Lily Alexander, Christopher Pinocchio II. Now that's actually Timothy Timal, who we interviewed already about AI. You remember that interview that turned out to be mind-blowing with Timothy Timal, right? Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Timothy. And Jermaine Isaac, Marvin Ellis, and Ignitia Phillip. They are all celebrating birthdays today. Is it November 10th?
Yes, it is.
November 10th. So it's
I want to say a happy belated birthday to Leslie Ann Avina. Birthday was yesterday. So I just wanted to say
she was 9/11 then.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say a happy birthday to her. Well, belated birthday. I did wish her a happy birthday yesterday.
Okay, so she...
A happy belated birthday to Madam Leslie Ann Levine, who you will see this week, from this weekend at your Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn at Cipriani College. The final 2 shows as Theatre winds down for 2025. But the final 2 shows in North. We have one more show in San Fernando on the 6th of December. And then that'll be it for theatre for 2025. So looking forward to this weekend as we wind it down. A little sad because we're enjoying this place so much. But, you know, has come to an end as theatre closes off for 2025. So you should not miss it. It's one of your final opportunities to see the play. But let me just get straight into our good news for this morning.
Claro, que esté afuera el agua. Sí. Bueno, ¿qué decís? ¿Le mandamos?
Le mandamos, es un delirio. Un delirio, es un absoluto delirio.
Así es una pose medio depresiva.
Ok, quédate exactamente así.
Wait, what? Is that it? How can an artist ever be so cocky as to even imply an absurd photo of a man watering a tree would change my life? Oh wait, what is that? Notice the rope. It ties the tree to his neck. The very act of watering it is not care, it is bondage. The more he nourishes it, the tighter the noose becomes. A tree without roots, held up only by his obedience. It cannot truly grow, and yet it thrives on his devotion. This is not a man. This is you. This is me. This is us, dressed in the armor of habit, kneeling before the very things that are killing us. And still, we water them. We pour into addictions, into food that numbs us, into people who drain us, into the glowing screen that devours our hours, rootless, fragile, yet alive only because we keep feeding them. A tree that should give life, but instead thrives on our surrender. The helmet shields his face, his identity hidden, his breath heavy, his vision clouded. He does not see that what he waters is what strangles him. The helmet is the illusion of safety, the weight of survival turned into suffocation, and the blindness of repeating patterns without seeing their consequence. This is the noxious orchard of vice, the orchard we all grow when we feed our unchosen patterns. Habits, distractions, vices that promise relief but steal our freedom. Each drop of water keeps them alive, and with every drop, the rope tightens. And this is why Benjamin Violet calls his artworks mirrors. They are not made to reflect him, but you. For when you stand before a mirror, you are not looking at art. You are looking at yourself. So ask yourself, what tree are you watering, and what could flourish in your life if you dared to stop?
So that was our good news for this.
That wasn't good news, Richard.
Yeah, but yes, of course it is. It's advice.
I mean, that is such a timely and poignant message for so many people, including myself. You know, I
what
think
you
it's
nourish
probably,
can sometimes kill you.
yeah, you watering things and people that really, at the end of the day, strangling you.
Yep. You have those things in your life. I think we all do.
Yes,
Have
yes.
things like that in our lives.
I have had my fair share.
Yeah. So, well, you know, we know. We do know this.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah.
Wow. Who's that? Where did you send that for me personally?
Yeah, I did email it to you.
Yeah. I might want to send it for a few people. I don't know if they'll get the message, but
Well, the message is kind of clear.
it's very clear.
So,
But you know, at the beginning, it's kind of not. You don't think the video is gonna go that way, yeah?
yeah. You're curious where it's going.
Yeah.
Curious where it's going.
Yeah. Good message. Excellent.
Yeah. So that was our good news for today. And of course, I don't know if you want to touch on anything before we go into commentary. I just need a minute.
No, except that I mean, the weather is fine. I mean, I got a video from a friend out there in Canada. Canada is covered in snow. Covered in snow. And I saw somebody post up a video of it, and a lot of people doubting it, saying, no, that ain't happening now. Well, it is, you know. So morning, Tinto. I know Tinto and all sent me a video with snow up by him, up by his side. I mean, I think it's the whole of Canada. I'm not sure if any part of Canada was spared, you know, covered in snow. Morning, Shaka, Subaru, out there too. I have quite a bit of friends out there, and they're covered in snow. Where did Richard go?
I told you I need a minute. I said that in clear English language.
I didn't hear.
I said it.
Maybe you said it in the middle of me talking.
We played the video.
Yeah. All right.
You
have a
we
video?
we get into greeting people in the stream at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Valerie Mendoza came in at 12:03. Good morning to the breakfast team. Margaret Thomas, Suzanne, Suzette, and Mrs. Gemma also says good morning. Brendan Smith from Goodwood in Tobago. Derek Duncan, morning to the breakfast show and to my amazing, handsome son and my beautiful, amazing wife. Have a wonderful day. All right. You didn't name them, Derek, but we'll say greetings to Derek's handsome son and beautiful, amazing wife. All right. Anthony Tinto, grand rising to the breakfast crew and to all locked on. Shalom. He's speaking about the snow there, you know, because he's out there in Canada. Boy Bidesi from Debe. Felix Kazo said, good morning, Wendell, Richard, and Sir Charles and Breakfast Show family. Happy 9th birthday to my last daughter, Amelia. It was yesterday. So happy birthday, belated birthday greetings to Amelia. All right. 9 years old. Eunice Dublin says good morning. So she was 9 on the 9th. Eh? Yeah. Good birthday to her. My son is actually going to be 21 on the 21st this year.
The youngest son, you should
Yeah. His mother, I think, is taking him abroad. That's what he told me. I said, well, good for you. It's not a trip that I'll be on, but I'll celebrate with him one day, some other day. Marlon Motley says good morning to the breakfast.
Good morning, Marlon.
Odell Guy, good morning. Michael Cadet. Old lady says blessings all. God, please help us to be grateful and thankful for all you have done for us, most definitely. Diane Payne. Erica Charles also says thanks for sparing our lives. Josie Richardson, Alistair Hart, good morning, guys. Back in Sweet TNT. I think he was in St. Martin. Is it St. Martin? Yeah, I think. James Kamau, manager TTU. All right, good morning. Carol Guevara also says good morning. Kenny in Harlem, he's back home. Robert Taylor, Debbie Modeste, Nicola McNichols, Ava Smith, CJ from New York. Morning, CJ.
Good morning, CJ.
Guy Small out there in Far Rockaway. Good morning. Strong Calypso, Sir Charles. Yes, that was Young Brother, right?
Yep.
Nice music selection, Sir Charles. That's from CJ. Rena Boodoo Jennings, Lambert Bruce, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. I think also I saw somebody post up a video of snow in Michigan City in Indiana, I think. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr from Arima. Carol Guevara is singing. Slick Money Grip says good morning. Apollonius Yvette Scipio, that's a new name, I think. I may have missed it before. Joyce Phillip, Claire Lendo Rollins, Trini Boy, Julia Samantha, Ila Rizan. Happy birthday to my first ex-husband, Kenneth Walcott. All right. Carol is sending birthday greetings to her first ex-husband. All right. Kenneth Walcott.
Interesting.
Kenneth boy, you're lucky.
Interesting.
You get through. Josh Jamesification. Okay, Josh Jamesification is clearly a troll. All right, so we're not going to read any of your messages, and I hope Sir Charles removes you. Larry Charles, David McCarthy, Patricia Defoe, Robert Harper. Sir Charles, could you block Josh Jamesification, and remove his comments and block him, please? Do it now before he gets totally ridiculous. Sandrina Bagan Charles, Kazim Mohammed, Mrs. R, Anthony Tinto, you okay. Carl M. Jack, blessed morning to all, Wendell. Hope you post it on your page. Mrs. R says, Wendell, looking, you have two pink ponies in your head. What, from the thing in the back of me?
Yeah.
Is that how it's looking, Andrew?
Not really. But
okay.
I'll be accustomed seeing it behind you. Anyway.
I need to move to the side. All right. Lyndon and Jennifer also says good morning. All right. Thanks, Sir Charles.
Okay, that is it?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. So let me say good morning to Kent. And
good morning, Mrs. R. Sorry for interrupting you, Sir Charles.
No problem. You can interrupt me for Mrs. R. Mrs. R, good morning to you. You know, so Kent in Lavatel, good morning. Mr. Betty out there in Brooklyn, good morning to you. Patrick Billy, Powder Magazine, Colin and Kelly down there in Caranage and probably on his way to work right now. Mr. Peeps, Pity Valley people. Archbishop Ashton Clark, yes, it's snowing. He says it's looking like Christmas now. Frank out there in Aruka, sorry, good morning to you, Frank. And believe it or not, yeah, that's all the people that get up on the WhatsApp so far. People are sleeping this morning, boy. Yesterday was a hard day, or a hard weekend.
Ron DeSantis, who's normally on WhatsApp, is on YouTube this morning. He says it's not, Richard's video is awesome, not quite good news, but reality. It's a classic example of sycophancy. But not really, you know. I don't want to relate that video to politics. Sherma Paul, that's life. That video is life. That has nothing to that gone past politics. Sherma Paul, Mrs. R is saying morning to Charles. Florence Bazi and Brent Hackshaw is also saying good morning. All right.
Ron DeSantis chose a song for Sappy Sundays called I Pray For You. You know, really nice song. It's everything in the opposite that you will think.
I pray for you.
I pray for you. When you pray for you, for good things to happen.
Okay.
They pray for all the wrong things to happen. I pray a car lose brakes. I pray.
I can see where this is.
Yes. It's only a man like him could use that song like that. You know, I pray when you're going down the step, you slip and you break your foot.
Oh,
That's what.
Morning managed to Michael Robinson out there in Yokohama, Japan. What's the weather like? You know? All right. I don't think Canadians expected that kind of snow this time of the year. And New York, I understand, is also called to have a snowy Christmas. For the first time in years, they are also predicting a lot of snow. All right. So those are all the greetings on the chat. Let's take a little commercial break, and when we come back, we'll do the news headlines.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
Oh, how I wish I were a child again, where poinsettias keep reminding you.
Christmas is family.
A Christmas gift of love. It's the kind of gift a man enjoys.
Christmas is love.
Have a Merry Christmas, my dear, and have a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas from all of us here at New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas, small businesses, this one's just for you. Get your brand, your product, your business in front of thousands every single day on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Gaia Caribbean TV. And here's the gift you've been waiting for. Radio and television advertising has never been more affordable anywhere else. We are talking unbelievable real rates. Prices no one else can offer you for primetime slots that put your business right where your customers are watching and listening. So, call us today at 299-5156 and turn your Christmas into real results and real profits with affordable advertising so you too can say Merry Christmas.
Your Dolly Foul to watch corn is coming to an end. Beginning with the final 2 at Cipriani College on Saturday the 15th of November at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 16th at 6:30 p.m. to see the funniest play of the year at Cipriani College. Final 2 shows. Tickets available at K-Squared Fashions, West Mall, Eastgate, Brentwood, Jubili Railway to Napuna, Electronics Ariba, and Tony's Florals Val Park, and Charmflair Auto Services. Box office at Cipriani College opens from Wednesday the 12th of November, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Don't miss the number 1 play of 2025.
Of course, we are back, and of course, Wendell will get straight into reading the Express. We're going to go through the headlines of the 3 dailies this morning, and Wendell will start it off with the Express newspapers.
Yeah, special morning also to Dave Gosain, Ozzy Molino, Sankofa, and of course, Victor Philip. Today's Express is Canadian help for TNT ganja. That's one of the main stories. There's a picture of Minister Kennedy Swarat. I guess, I don't know the article, but you could read it. Anil mum on live sport, but jabs Faris. That live sport thing will never ever go away, Anil Roberts. Just trust me, it will never ever go away. West Indies in must-win situation, that's against New Zealand. Of course, we would have lost the second match. Hillview College secure premier promotion. Those are all stories trending in today's Express. Let me see if I see any more. $100,000 ransom demand after resident kidnapped. And they say the vehicle that they took worth more than 100,000. So, and they found the vehicle burnt. MP in mourning. I don't know what member of parliament is that. MP mourns murdered uncle. Why does another family member have to endure so much pain? Who is the MP? Who's the MP? A Moruga man was shot. So the MP, I think, will be Michelle Benjamin, I guess, if it's from Moruga. But I have to, the other read the whole, oh yes, it is uncle. It is Michelle Benjamin's uncle. She is mourning the murder of her uncle. So condolences to Minister Michelle Benjamin, who is the Minister of Culture. All right? Yeah. So that's today's Express.
All right, so I'll get straight into the news day for this morning. And the trending stories, UTT's new honorary doctorates. Apparently they have some new doctorates. Lost in the system, Arima teen out of school for 2 years. Government officials and dignitaries laid wreaths at Remembrance Day ceremony. Central Cops arrest 4, seize guns, ammo, and ganja. And COP praises PM's bold vision, master development plan. Cooperman kidnapped. Sabgas excited by Kamla's plan. And Caribbean Airlines unaffected by FAA orders to reduce flights. And the crooner wins Canadian Calypso competition in every category. Williamsville man killed with own gun during fit of anger. And police probe robberies in Maraval, Trinity, and St. Augustine. That's some of the main stories in the news day today. Over to you on the Guardian, Sir Charles.
Okay, so a lot of the same headlines. $100,000 ransom demand for kidnapped farmer. And then there's the story of the minister who is mourns uncle's death in census act of violence. Over 200 gather in Port of Spain to say no to war in the Caribbean, and that was last evening, the vigil. Opposition praises JTUM, stands for peace. Company pledges US $3.85 million to rebuild education in hurricane-hit Jamaica. TNTech team leaves for Jamaica today to help restore electricity. I understand that situation in Jamaica is really bad. Private dispute with shipping company leaves containers stranded at the port. And that is the stories in the Guardian this morning.
Well, there's another story. I mean, Richard hinted on it when he read the headlines, because I got this message from Gary Griffith a while ago. This is the first time ever, he thinks, that the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, the National Security Minister, and the Commissioner of Police were all absent from Armistice Day. Neither of them laid a wreath yesterday at Memorial Park. He may very well be right.
They were all absent?
They were all absent. That's the message he sent. They were
including
all
the opposition leader too?
Yeah, he said the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, the National Security Minister, and the Commissioner of Police were all absent.
Wow.
That's what I have. And Dean Allen sent me a whole set of videos and thing. I'll have to have a look at them later. That's of the vigil in Woodford Square last evening. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I didn't get an opportunity to be in town. If I was in town at that moment, I might have passed, but I wasn't in town at all. So, do you want me to play that video that you sent me? You sent in the group, and concerning the New York Times transmissions and stuff.
Yes. Right now.
But you sent it, and I know you got very sensitive when we don't play it.
Yes. Well, most of the videos now I send for you, y'all don't play. So
But I know you get very sensitive about it, so I was just checking.
Play it. It's interesting.
Play you a clip of something we've been listening to a lot of lately.
6 direct southbound, detention of flight level 210 to 4,500.
This is an American drone that's been flying over the Caribbean, communicating with an air traffic control tower in Puerto Rico. The drone is part of a very large, in fact, somewhat unprecedented deployment of F-35 fighter jets, refueling tankers, destroyers to the Caribbean. And the administration has launched a series of airstrikes on small boats that it says, without evidence, are carrying narcotics. Dozens of people have been killed. My name is Riley Mellon. I'm a reporter on the visual investigations team here at the New York Times. We've been following the overall military buildup for the last probably 8 or 9 weeks or so, using a whole series of tools at our disposal. Satellite imagery, talking to sources on the ground, ship tracking websites, plane tracking websites. But one of the tools that's been actually most useful are radio transmissions between US military pilots flying around in the region and air traffic control towers on the ground. There's a pretty robust community online of people who are really interested in air traffic control communications. One of these folks actually reached out to me and said, hey, here's a list of call signs that I've heard as I've been listening to air traffic control communications in and around the Caribbean. I put on my headphones, pull up some of these websites and start listening. These are scratchy, these are grainy, they have pops and whistles, and on top of that, you're sifting through these dozens and dozens of other planes, JetBlue flights, these American flights, these Delta flights, and so on. But then, all of a sudden, you hear Papa Sierra 162.
Sure, Papa Sierra 162 passing 2,000 for 5,000. Papa Sierra 162 on departure radar, contact climb and maintain 10,000.
Papa Sierra 162 is the call sign of a Navy P-8 Poseidon, what's known as a maritime patrol aircraft. It has sensitive cameras on it, it has high-tech radar, it's used quite often for surveillance and reconnaissance. So what's going on in this clip is that this P-8 Poseidon aircraft is taking off from the airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and climbing to 5,000 feet.
Papa Sierra 162 will be dropped in due regard at this point and going operational. Looking to pick back up with you in a few hours.
After the plane took off from San Juan, we heard it flying south, and then he says this important phrase, which is due regard. A phrase that's used by the pilots of military and government aircraft to signify to air traffic control that the pilots won't be communicating with air traffic control. It is a way of concealing some of the more sensitive aspects of their role. That gave us a pretty good picture of what was going on in Puerto Rico's airspace. So we started listening to the transmissions from Trinidad and Tobago as well. And as soon as we started listening to those, one pattern that became pretty clear to us pretty soon is that American attack drones are flying very close to Venezuelan airspace, sometimes just 5 to 10 miles away. In fact, over 3 days in October, we actually heard over a dozen positions for 4 separate US drones that were within 10 miles of Venezuelan airspace. This next transmission told us something totally different.
That's Bunch 58, currently squawking 0360, approximately 90 miles southwest of El Salvador International.
What we just heard is a different Navy P-8 Poseidon aircraft. This plane's call sign is Bunch 58, and we heard it flying, as he said, approximately 90 miles to the southwest from El Salvador International Airport. As sources were sending us these clips that showed these planes were taking off and landing from El Salvador International Airport, we also analyzed some satellite imagery that actually shows the planes on the tarmac here at this little outpost at the edge of the El Salvador International Airport. We use these transmissions to identify what appears to be the first US military planes of this recent military buildup in a country besides the United States. These planes have appeared in El Salvador at the same time that the Trump administration has expanded the scope of these airstrikes. There's a lot that's unclear about what is being used to strike these small boats, but one thing that's clear is that this buildup is ongoing and rapidly changing, and it's something that we'll be keeping a close eye on.
I would imagine a lot of people will be keeping a close eye on what's going on.
Interesting, different perspective in terms of the build-up, because you haven't seen that before in terms of the monitoring what's going on in the air and trying to build a picture.
And unscrambling the messages that have been sending.
Yeah, well, understanding what they are.
Yeah.
And painting that picture of what's going on. At least so far that they can tell of what's going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, interesting times. You got a lot of message. You got a lot of let me say social media reports, let me put it that way, of the buildup of Venezuelan assets in the region too. But I don't know how true that is, how accurate that is. I don't know. But certainly that has also being commented on.
Yeah. I think the war right now is being fought on in terms of information coming out. You understand as to what's happening with what Venezuela is doing and what with the assistance of Russia and possibly China, and what America continues to do with the assistance of certain Caribbean and South American countries. You're getting, it's a war of information right now. That's what it seems to be.
And misinformation too, eh?
Information and misinformation. Well, the more misinformation you could spread in terms of scaring the other person, that's part of the, I guess, of your army. You know.
I know that there's supposed to be some sort of conference with Latin American countries and the Caribbean concerning having a unified position on what is happening in the region. I think there's something like that taking place. Of course, you have COP30 coming up, which is taking place. Is it in Brazil?
Yeah, I think I read it somewhere. It's in Brazil.
I think it's in Brazil. And well, the US, I don't think is sending any representatives. So I think Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is saying that he will attend. In terms of California, I guess, being represented, or as a representative, he'll be probably the highest representative from the United States, because I don't think the Trump administration is sending anybody to COP30, and I don't think either. I'm not sure if China is sending anybody on, and India. So three of the biggest polluters in the world: the US, China, and India. That's just a reflection of the planet that we live in. So three of the biggest polluters allegedly, I think, are not attending COP30. I may be subject to correction. If anybody knows better in the stream, please indicate. But I think those three countries are not attending, and they're three of the biggest polluters on the planet in terms of climate change. But the rest of the world is attending, as far as I'm aware. But of course, there may be individual countries that may not be attending. I don't know, but certainly those three were identified in terms of their non-attendance. But Gavin Newsom, I know, I read that he's the governor of California. He's the one who's saying he's going to attend. Because of course, it's probably the whether you believe in climate change or not is irrelevant. It's like whether you believe Melissa was a hurricane or not is irrelevant. It's a hurricane and it's coming. You know, so whether you choose to believe it or not is irrelevant. So is climate change. You could see, well, you've seen evidence of it across the planet. But if you choose to ignore it and say it's nothing, well, so be it. That's your prerogative, and go through and have a nice and healthy life. But the rest of the world recognizes that it's an emergency and it's going up. I think it's past a tipping point, or very close to a tipping point in terms of the planet and what degree of Celsius it has increased by. So there's a lot to discuss, and a lot of countries, of course, are alarmed about it, and a lot of countries are the grown-ups in the room trying to deal with it.
Yeah. Just to quickly respond to Dylan, and because we could open up the lines and take some calls, because we're going to poll that particular issue at Dean Allen. Dean Allen asks, to be fair, well, he says, to be fair, did anyone tell them that they should be at Memorial Square? Dean Allen, clearly you're not aware of how huge this occasion is, where the diplomatic corps turn out in their numbers and all the officials in.
Why would anybody have to tell you to be at Memorial Square?
But I don't understand Dean Allen's point. Maybe he doesn't know.
No, I don't understand that question. Why would anybody have to tell you to be present?
This is a state organized memorial. This is
we're not now doing it. We're not now doing it.
Yeah.
Didn't just start.
Yeah.
That going on since what, 1962?
Well, I'm sure. But what I'm saying is that this is a big thing. Even when the president of Ghana was here, how much ever years ago, he came and laid a wreath. It's a big thing, Dean Allen. I don't know if you know that. A lot of war veterans go and they lay wreaths. All the dignitaries, I mean, the Mayor of Port of Spain, the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, the head of the Defense Force, they all go and lay wreaths, Dean Allen. I don't know if you're aware of that. So nobody should have to tell them they have to be at Memorial Square.
No, that's making excuses for nonsense.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, so let's take some calls now. We open up the lines. Even the U.S. ambassadors, I've seen U.S. ambassador, they're laying a wreath at Memorial Square already. You know?
Okay, so lines are open to you people, 281-1315-299-5156. And we have a couple people already coming in online, so let's take them as they come. Hello, good morning to you, caller. Hello, good morning.
Are you hearing me?
Not loud. You need to speak up.
Yeah, for some reason, you kind of...
Okay, are you hearing me?
In the distance.
Yeah, it's kind of a little distant, but go ahead. I have the volume right up.
Okay. Good morning, Sir Charles, to Wendell and Richard.
Morning.
I called this morning because there was an issue over the weekend that was rather, I would say, concerning to the parties involved. Someone got ill and they had to call the ambulance to take them to the hospital. So they took them to the Arima Hospital on Friday afternoon. The ambulance got there about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay? And seeing that nobody could have gone with that person because that person's wife is also ill and cannot really go about as such. And all they have to taking care of them is a housekeeper / caregiver. So he had to go up in the ambulance alone. Lo and behold, Saturday morning they called, obviously, to say that he needed some clothes. 2 people took up the clothes, and in somewhere around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, questions were asked about his condition. They said that they were waiting on certain results. Okay, and the wife now received a call about 10:30 in the night, telling her that he was discharged at 10:30 in the night, and someone should come for him. How could they discharge somebody at 10:30 in the night, right? And they said everything was okay. Now, Sunday morning, they made arrangements to have him picked up. He came home, and from the time he came home, he was behaving in a very erratic manner because he had to have certain things like a catheter in him and so on because of his condition, and he kept pulling it out and so on. So he was behaving very erratic. They called the ambulance again. The ambulance came, took him to the Arima Hospital again. Okay? Now, no discharge paper was given to the people who picked him up in the first instance. Secondly, he was discharged and his sugar level was still extremely high, right? Because when the medics came yesterday, his sugar level was 475, which meant that he was either entering again into a diabetic coma or something of the sort, okay? Similar to what happened on Saturday. And when the person went to pick him up on yesterday, one of the nurses remarked, "Oh, you come for him? Well, I'm so happy, we're so happy." You understand? Now he's behaving very erratic. Okay? Now I want to know, I would really like to get in touch with the minister because I cannot understand how somebody could be discharged with a sugar level of 475 and you're not keeping the person in there You understand? To control that before the person is discharged. And the hospital is a place that is supposed to take care of all types of people. All types of people, regardless of their behavior and whatnot. There are certain things that they can do. Right? Now, and the other thing about it is that, I mean, you know, it is so sad to know that his 2 children who can take care of him are living in Canada. And there is nobody else apart from the wife who could, as I said, could hardly walk, incapacitated. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I am really, really disappointed in the health system, especially with the type of treatment that he was given when he is there right now, right? And I'm waiting to see what's happening, but I really want to get in touch with some senior person at the hospital, I mean, at the health institution, to find out exactly what is going on, because I cannot understand how he was in the holding bay when on Saturday. In other words, he was not warded as yet because they were unable to totally treat him properly. Good. I am really, really disturbed about it, all right, about this situation. And if this is the kind of treatment that we are getting now at the health center, it is rather deplorable. It is really, really terrible to know that this is what people have to go through, right? When in these situations. And anybody, and if that's the case, I'll have to call a reporter or somebody, because it is a human being, and you cannot just send somebody home like that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Well, I hear your frustration and anger about the entire situation, and rightfully so. I can't see why they would release somebody with a sugar level that's so high. That's incredulous to me. And
well, in the first instance, at 10:30 the night, the first time they released them, at 10:30 in the night, you send home.
That is also ridiculous. But and from what the caller is indicating, they sent him home, and was the catheter placed in him already, or they wanted them to place a catheter? I can't see somebody home placing a catheter in anybody.
True.
So it has to be that they place a catheter on him.
And
placing a catheter is one of the most painful things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, just think of it, what it involves.
Yeah.
And it will have you squirming.
Yeah, well, I hope she gets redressed, but I hope I gather it's her husband is a lot better, you know, and improves.
Yeah, it's like her neighbor, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, but that's a crazy situation. And
it's story sounded personal.
Isn't there a complaint desk in the Ministry of Health in the various hospitals? I think there is a complaint desk. To complain about issues like that.
I'm always afraid of the public health system. I am afraid of it.
Well, I mean, people have good experiences too, but
yeah,
when bad experiences happen, it should be called out, because you want as many people to have good experiences as possible.
Yeah.
In terms of interfacing with the public health sector.
Yeah.
And but I can't see why you would release somebody with a sugar level that's that high. That's crazy.
All right, we have another caller online there. Caller, good morning to you. All right, caller went, yes. Just sorry, caller. All right.
Yeah, they probably felt Wendell was going to talk and talk and talk.
Yeah.
No, I kind of figure out Dean Allen making a multiplicity of excuses for people on the chat who didn't attend that thing. Memorial Day is something going on for years, Dean. It's not a little function. It's not a birthday line, you know.
Okay. Good morning, Miss Sampson.
Good morning, Charles. Good morning, gentlemen. I have a question for Richard. If a welder is welding and your house end up burning down, who is to be blamed? Because I used to
work. Answer that question. That's a technical question.
I never heard that word in Trinidad. Welders has come. I have evidence. Welders has come. They don't even work with a waterproof, with a fireproof material. I have a nice table outside burn up. When the roofman did the roof the other day, I put down cardboard on the ground. They walk, the cardboard move. They never fix it. All over have a welding spot. On top of that, when I was now adding on my house, I was downstairs, the house below road level, and I hear bloop, bloop, bloop. And when I spin around, the droppings was falling in the garage upstairs, coming through the vent brick and falling downstairs on my living room set. Well, that's supposed to be a little more careful. The reason why I was raising this, since Dancy burned down, I only went there yesterday. And I remember when I left the day, the guy was welding and the fire was the night after. So who is responsible if a welder was lackadaisical and your house burned down? That is what I want to ask Richard. You guys have a good day. Listen off there.
I cannot answer that question. That's a technical question in terms of electrical supply. It may have nothing to do with the welder. It could have to do with whether your electrical supply is up to code. So that's a technical question. To get to the point of blame, is there ever a day, Ms. Sampson, when you have no problem?
Bats in the back door, the drain in front of the house. I feel
but somebody.
But you know, but she right about that.
But an expert in that field, let me just finish with that. An expert in that field who has to determine causation. And if it is that the welder is deemed to be careless or negligent, because you have to prove negligence.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the welder was not negligent, there is no case.
Yeah, it might have been simply an accident.
Yeah, it simply could have been something, as I said, with the electrical supply.
Yeah.
The electrical supply wasn't up to code or whatever it is. But you're supposed to, you're supposed to have an electrical inspection every, 5 years? Which most homeowners do not take on. 99.9% do not do that every 5 years.
Yeah.
But all of that contributes to it. So you have to find out who actually is the cause, or what is exactly the cause that gave rise to that fire, and whether in fact it can be attributed to the negligence of the welder. That's the only way you'd have a case.
Yeah, she's right though. I was saying about plenty welders, they're not careful enough that those sparks, when they fly and they fall, they actually burn whatever they fall on. Even if it's a tile, sometimes your expensive tiles, those little sparks that you see just come off the machine and fly and they drop, they actually make a mark that you cannot remove on tiles. I've experienced that. You understand? So she says she put down cardboard and so on, and it's still flying out through the vent box something. But that's, I know how that feels, Miss Sampson.
But isn't cardboard flammable?
Well, yes, it is.
Most likely.
But you want to put something there that the spark will fall on, because the spark dissipates pretty quickly. But once it falls on that concrete or that tile floor, wooden floor, it's going to leave a mark.
All right, let's take this call. Caller, good morning to you.
Yeah, you can put up the poll anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you needed related was sad, but it's factual. And it goes back to, remember last week, the President of the Nurses Association, Mr. Stewart, was talking about ratio of nurses to patients and so on. And the fact is that how nurses care for patients here, and when they go elsewhere to work, is totally different. So there's accountability elsewhere. And I'm quite, and when somebody has a comorbidity like diabetes or hypertension and so on, they go. Right now, emergency under the triage system. So what happens is that they will deal with a person in a particular way, and once they consider what is stabilization according to the load they have in the A&E at the time, they will discharge you. That's how it is, unfortunately, and the circumstances that as you pointed out, where the person's children are abroad and so on, that makes it even worse. So you have nobody who can really come and assist and take care of them. And sad to say, that is the reality. You understand that when the person goes there and doesn't have anybody, you are treated just as if you're a homeless person who they just drop off and pick up a medical emergency, So unless you have a relative there to be an advocate for patient care, once you're there, for whatever the ailment is, you will just be on the proverbial on your own. You understand? And with regard to that Memorial Day thing, even the Prime Minister of the country wasn't there, the AG stood in for her. But when I watch how it was, it seems to me that there is not something very high up on their list, or people not taking it quite seriously as it was before. I think the reason is because most of the people, especially World War II was 80 years ago. How many, if any veteran is alive now, they're over 100 years. And I tell myself that is the reason why. And then in the circumstances of the SOE and so on, but it was sad. It was sad when I saw numbers having participated before in the years I was in service, and I was shocked. But somebody did call me to ask me if they were having it. I said yes, they're having it, but they say in terms of the crowd and so on and things. I say, well, yeah, well, who knows? But it's sad. It's sad on both counts as the lady recounted and the attendance at the Memorial Day. Take care, gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing a message here, strange enough, from somebody. They're going under the name Kennedy Swarat Singh. Good morning. I am listening to your program and want to assure your previous caller that I will bring that situation to the attention of the Ministers of Health, Kennedy. I can't say if it's a genuine message or not, but if it is, Minister Kennedy Swarat Singh, we want to thank you if it is, in fact, you who sent that message. All right?
All right, so news is upon us, so we're going for the news, and we will be back continuing to vote on the poll. The poll is up. When did I read the poll for them?
Oh, yes. Are you surprised that no officials were present to lay wreaths at the Memorial Day celebration? And when we say no officials, it's reported that the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, the Minister of Homeland Security, and the Commissioner of Police were all absent. Right? The caller just confirmed that the Attorney General represented the Prime Minister. All right. So we're speaking specifically about those 4 officials that is reported.
Yeah, the Attorney General was there because I saw the news item where he was there.
All right. So that's our poll this morning.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio in Gael, Caribbean. I'm Derek. Good day. President Christine Kangaloo says peace is becoming increasingly elusive in today's world. She was speaking at the Rotary Club of Central Port of Spain's 25th Model United Nations debate, themed Peace and Human Rights. The president said the program arrives at a critical moment globally, with wars raging in Ukraine, Sudan, and Gaza, among others. She said by exposing young people in Trinidad and Tobago and the region to diplomacy, the Model UN helps them become advocates for peace. Kangaloo also noted that harsh public discourse locally makes peace-building difficult, but urged students to persevere, saying difficult does not mean impossible. UN Resident Coordinator Joanna Kazana-Wisniewski added that young people are vital to peace and security, and called on them to defend human dignity wherever they go. San Fernando East MP Brian Manning says the UNC's new Trinidad and Tobago revitalization blueprint is Patrick Manning's Vision 2020 by another name. Responding to the plan unveiled by Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bisesar and Works Minister Geraldine John, Manning accused the UNC of recycling ideas they once criticized, including major waterfront and infrastructure projects. He recalled that Prasad-Bisesar, while in opposition, labeled his father's developments reckless spending on monuments, but is now proposing similar mega projects in Port of Spain and San Fernando. Manning also questioned how the government plans to fund what he called multi-billion-dollar visions, saying the UNC had previously undermined revenue-generating projects like the aluminium smelter and Sandals Resort. Reports have surfaced that several U.S. military drones were detected flying above and around Trinidad and Tobago last month, some within miles of the Venezuelan coast, and at least one directly over the country. According to data shared by the New York Times, at least 4 MQ-9A Reaper drones were tracked within the nation's airspace in mid-October. The Times said the drones were detected through radio transmissions between U.S. military pilots and regional air traffic control towers. Government officials have not confirmed granting permission for such flights. Minister of Foreign Affairs Sean Sobers said investigations were ongoing, while Defense Minister Wayne Sturge has yet to comment. The sightings come amid a major U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean, linked to operations targeting narco-trafficking and increased tensions with Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago's ongoing blood shortage crisis is once again under scrutiny, following the death of 25-year-old UWI medical student Alexandra Kong. Her family had issued a desperate appeal for blood just days before she passed away on Wednesday. Health Minister Dr. Lakran Bodo says the ministry is expanding national campaigns to encourage voluntary donations, admitting that shortages remain a serious challenge. Anthony Blake, CEO of the Northwest Regional Health Authority, added that maintaining a consistent supply requires public and corporate support. Advocates say Alexandra's death exposes deeper problems, from delays in diagnosis to limited resources and hospital inefficiencies. Natalie George Sabga of the John E. Sabga Memorial Foundation says her foundation will now push for stronger blood donation efforts and urgent healthcare reform. Alexandra's mother says her daughter was a gem, whose story should inspire real change. Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin, who serves as Gold Commander for Christmas 2025 and Carnival 2026, chaired a high-level meeting with key stakeholders on November 7th to map out strategies for crime reduction and public safety in Port of Spain. The meeting brought together Mayor Chinua Aline, senior police officers, and community representatives to strengthen collaboration as the Christmas crime plan rolls out. Among the key issues discussed were increased police patrols, especially in Woodbrook, between 3 and 6 a.m., better crowd and traffic management around major venues like the Queen's Park Savannah, and stronger communication with the public about road changes and events. The session also addressed illegal parking, robberies, and street crimes, while calling for continued professional conduct and visible police presence across the district. DCP Martin thanked all stakeholders for their support and reaffirmed the TTPS's commitment to maintaining safety, order, and public confidence during the busy Christmas and Carnival seasons. In international news, Typhoon Fangwang has slammed into the Philippines as a super typhoon, forcing the evacuation of more than 900,000 people and leaving at least 2 dead. The storm, packing winds of up to 230 kilometers per hour, made landfall in Aurora province on Luzon last night, bringing destructive winds and life-threatening storm surges. Officials warn of severe flooding and landslides, with up to 200 millimeters of rain expected across parts of Luzon, including Metro Manila. Flights have been canceled, airports shut, and thousands are sheltering in evacuation centers. The disaster comes just days after Typhoon Kalmegi devastated parts of the country, killing nearly 200 people. Authorities have declared a state of calamity, giving emergency powers to speed up relief efforts as Fangwang continues to move northwest toward Taiwan. And that is news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
Laughing children tug at Mr. Santa. Teddy bears.
Feel the laughter, the lights, the love. That's what Christmas feels like.
Christmas Eve, casually I was walking down the street. One Christmas Eve, casually
We keep the joy alive and the music playing all season long. Merry Christmas from your friends at New Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond.
Your mid-morning. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The Mid-Morning Mix and Mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Might sound lofty to you, and so you criticize. But condemnation and negative reviews only serve to energize. So-called friends will envy and jealous. Yes, not everyone could handle your progress. But when they try to kill my passion and desire, it does only fuel my fire. I go in and sing like sparrow. I need to be versatile, cast a spell like shadow. Oozing with gum and guile. You might feel I tipsy when I shuffle, flick back my head, just channeling the gypsy. At extempo, he real dread. So don't limit, don't try to dim it. Shape, structure, or trim it. I remain gallant. They can't tame my talent. My love for the art is pure. I take it to every show to achieve my goal. I so to the world. My intention is to elevate the art and to be the architect. Whoa, so younger generations can blaze a trail for themselves and show it due respect. Put my abilities on display, and honor the greats along the way. Take a pinch from their experience and just add my sons. That's the impetus to chant my own cause. I go in and write like Stalin, Kitchener and Valentino, Calypso Rose, my darling. With fire plenty tempo, cause to them it's no fluke. History will report the genius of Duke High elegance. Look at the cloth, so don't limit, don't try to dim it. Shape, structure, or trim it. I remain gallant. They can't tame my talent. My love for the art is pure. I'll take it to any show to achieve my goal. I so to the world. And the banana boat song to Calypso far. Rum and Coca-Cola top the Billboard chart, Lord Invader. Brown Skin Girl by King Radio. These songs help the world to appreciate Calypso. Jamaica Farewell, Jean and Dinah and Miss Mariana, mighty sniper. Cause Trinidad is my land, deep in my bone marrow. And all this music hits the spot, and just like the arrow, well, I'm feeling hot, 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 leading an army in the name of Kaiso to capture the very first Grammy and represent Trinbago. So don't limit, don't try to dim it. Shape, structure, or trim it. I remain gallant. They can't tame my talent. My love for the art is pure. I take it to every show to achieve my goal. I so to the world.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Well, as he says, Kaiso to the world. And of course, we are in to a very interesting season. Kaiso to the world. And it is NETT Radio to the world. New Era TT Radio. Good morning to you if you're just joining us. Thank you very much for being here. It's greatly appreciated. Of course, remember you can get us all day, every day at newerattradio.com. New Era TT Radio. Put it in your browser. That way you get us on TuneIn. Gives you the opportunity to get us on your Alexa and Google devices, right? And of course, when we come off of the TV stream, let me say good morning to the people on Gael Caribbean after 8 o'clock. Yeah, that is where you can listen to us all day, all right? Continue to vote on the poll. Are you surprised that no officials were present to lay wreaths at the Memorial Day celebrations yesterday? Are you surprised? Remember, you put in yes or no first, and then you can put your comments, right? They celebrate. Also, just to let you know what's happening inside of the Drive Time Exchange later on with Tony Fraser, one of the long-established communities in Port of Spain. It is right now experiencing a whole lot of difficulties. On the afternoon drive time today, and hear from members of the Belmont community about their challenges. You can join our special guest in between there. Keisha Cole is going to be there. Lincoln Calendar, Chairman Gonzalez, and Reynold Cox. They will all be joining Tony Fraser inside of the Drive Time Exchange right here. So remember, your next engagement, YouTube and Facebook people, will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon, right? So stay with us and we will be back shortly.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
Laughing children tug at Mr. Santa. Teddy bears.
Feel the laughter, the lights, the love. That's what Christmas feels like.
Christmas Eve, casually I was walking down the street. One Christmas Eve, casually
We keep the joy alive and the music playing all season long. Merry Christmas from your friends at New Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas, small businesses, this one's just for you. Get your brand, your product, your business in front of thousands every single day on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. And here's the gift you've been waiting for. Radio and television advertising has never been more affordable anywhere else. We are talking unbelievable real rates. Prices no one else can offer you for primetime slots that put your business right where your customers are watching and listening. So call us today at 299-5156 and turn your Christmas into real results and real profits with affordable advertising, so you too can say Merry Christmas.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
You don't leave out to watch corn is coming to an end. Beginning with the final two at Cipriani College on Saturday the 15th of November at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 16th at 6:30 p.m. to see the funniest play of the year at Cipriani College. Final two shows. Tickets available at K Square Fashions, West Mall, Eastgate, Brentwood, Juveni Railway to Napuna, Electronics Ariba, and Tony's Florals, Val Park, and Champlain Auto Services. Box office at Cipriani College opens from Wednesday the 12th of November, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Don't miss the number one play of 2025.
All right, so we are back after the news break, and I'm paying some bills on the breakfast show this morning. And of course, we have our poll results coming up shortly. If Sir Charles could just put up the poll again so people can be aware. There we go. So are you surprised that no officials were present to lay wreaths at the Memorial Day celebration? And of course, that's a little ambiguous.
Yeah, because it was specific to for official.
Yeah, it was specific to, it was the Prime Minister, the Homeland Security, Minister of Homeland Security, the opposition leader, and one more, the Commissioner of Police. Were you surprised that none of them were present? That's really the question.
Yeah.
So are you surprised that none of those four people were present? Yes or no? You may not be surprised at all. You may think it's fine.
When you're ready to vote,
actually, we're not even asking you whether it's fine or not. You know, we're just asking if you were surprised.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Because everybody can have a replacement at the end of the day. But as the officer, the retired officer who called, said that because it may be because a lot of the veterans have in fact passed on, they may still not be. But then we remember them anyway. Whether they're here to come and lay wreaths, because a lot of them, they used to come, the veterans themselves would be there present. You know what I mean? He's thinking that maybe because the war was 80 years ago, ended 80 years ago, that they may not still be alive, or they may be over 100.
That's kind of intellectually dishonest for a day called Memorial Day.
True, and that's right. But he gave an opinion, and
I'm just saying that the whole point of it is that 100 years from now, assuming there are no more wars, and that and even if there were, Memorial Day will still be Memorial Day.
Yeah,
it'll be the day designated for citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who have lost their lives.
Yeah.
Fighting for Trinidad and Tobago in whatever context. So, because none of the people are alive anymore, we should stop.
He is saying that may be the reason for the dwindling numbers coming out to that. Because I went to that already as a member of the Port of Spain City Council. We would all attend, and it was a big thing. You know, it was a big, because of course the soldiers were on parade also too at the Memorial Square. It was a nice feeling to be there. You know,
but it's about honoring the fallen soldiers.
Yeah. It's not a long ceremony, but I mean, as I say, it's important. I think at the end of the day. But let me give you the votes.
I suppose it's what value a society places on remembering things like that.
Yeah.
There are some societies that place no value in it at all. Do we want to become that kind of society that places no value in it? That's a choice.
Yeah.
And that is probably because a lot of things like that, you know, coming up to the actual day of itself, there is nothing really that keeps it in your face. So people don't even remember it. It's not like happening. I don't think that schools have anything special.
You used to have to buy a puppy back in the day.
Yeah, you know, that things that would keep your, you know, keep it in your face, and you remember some sort of even campaign to just let people know, you know, come down and just view what's taking place, and nobody knows nothing.
Yeah. That year, the Ghanaian president was here. Was a huge year. endless people were out there because it so happens there was a convention right across at the Queen's Park Savannah that same day. You understand? Dr. Rowley was Prime Minister, of course.
And they said Ghana, when there was somebody in Ghana who said that Noah's flood coming again and he's building a boat.
Who?
Somebody in Ghana.
Say what?
That the kind of flood that Noah had is coming
in
again.
the early days.
It's coming again. You saw it, Sir Charles?
No, I didn't.
Somebody was telling me about it.
And he's building a boat out of a special material, but it's going to be 3 days of global rain that's going to bring back Noah's flood, and the ark is being built in Ghana. It didn't look very big to me, but this is a video that I saw. I don't know, it came up in my stream, and I was like, why is this in my stream?
Maybe it's because you Google Professor Loeb recently.
Yeah, because you know Noah's Ark is really just a moral story. It's not something that was real. Oh yeah, Christians, get all up in yourselves, but yeah, it's not real. But anyway, let's not go down that. Let me not antagonize people because right now Sir Charles can't speak because there's something caught in his throat. He can't believe I just said that sentence.
I can't believe how easily you go after Christians.
I'm not going after Christians. I'm going after, some of them.
The fanatics. He goes after the fanatics.
Believe,
He goes after the fanatics.
Certain moral stories, certain stories with a moral slant teach you to be better humans, which obviously doesn't work if you look from social media.
You ready for poll results, sir?
Of course I am.
Let's do the poll.
I'm sure people would have been voting whilst we were chatting away, all right? So Josie Richardson says yes. DKB says no, nothing when it comes to this government surprises me anymore. Michael Cadet says no. Rena Jennings, no. Ava Smith, no. Derek, okay, DKB is Derek Billion, and he is celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday, Derek Billion. Now that you put your name there, because we've been seeing the DKB, but I wasn't sure. All right. Ron DeSantis, no. Susan Jessup, no. D-Mark, no. Kennedy, well, I read this message from Kennedy Soratzing early on, assuming it is him, and he said it later down in the chat. I'll read what he says. Jason Samuel, okay, we were specific, right? So thanks for the correction, Jason. Florence, Ilarizan says no. Victor Phillips says no. Bernadette Yates, no. Robert Harper, no. Slick Money Grip, no. Robert Taylor, no. Valerie Mendoza, yes. Miguel Gonzalez, yes. Beauty Culture, yes. Brent Hackshaw, yes. Schumer Paul, yes. The news report did say that the AG laid the wreath on behalf of the PM. Thank you for that, Helen Prescott. Michael Oliver says, well, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Michael Robinson says no. Dave Gosine says no. Marlon Motley, no. Helen Prescott, no. Colted Finch, yes. Kennedy Swaratzing said it is me. And I was at Memorial Park, okay. Minister Swaratzing, if it really is you, we would love very much to interview, especially based on a headline in today's papers, today's Express, about the marijuana, the government's plan to develop a local medical marijuana industry that's coming under your ministry. So that was one of the main stories. We would love very much for you to interview you on it. So you could
most likely it probably is because he also sent me a number.
Okay, great. So again, Charles, I was now going to suggest that he contacts one of us. So he's contacted you already. So have a chat with him now, and we can interview him. Right? I always remember him as a very quiet, unassuming guy. Lester Cragwell, no. Michael Samuel didn't vote there. Joseph Clement says no. Okay. Eunice Dublin, no. Carol Guevara, well, you didn't vote, but you said not surprised, so I guess that's a no. Diane Payne says no. Apollonius, no. Trini Merle Kitchen, no. Bridget Buchanan, no. James Kamau, no. Margaret Thomas, no. Alistair Marlene Saunders Sobers, no. CJ from New York, yes. And that's it. A lot of chatter going on. You all can read it if you so desire. Not me. I doing votes.
All right. So Pauline says yes. Captain Ron says no. Fifi says no. Mahi says no. Dre says Dre didn't. Dre sent a long message. Frank says no. Debbie didn't vote. And Miss Sampson says no. Black Pearl says no. Sean says yes. And Brandon says this poll confusing me.
I think it confuses other people. But it's personal to you. If you're surprised, yes or no?
Yeah, he said. He said this poll confusing him. I guess. Well, that is it, Richard. I don't have any more.
I just have one more. Well, Carla Hercules, no. Scorpion Pepper said I omitted 2 votes. So I don't know. Because it's so much chatter going on. And
all right, so our poll this morning, are you surprised that no officials were presently reached at the Memorial Day celebrations? And by officials, we were particularly identifying the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, the Commissioner of Police, and the Minister of Homeland Security. So were you surprised that those 4 were absent? That's what the poll should have said, but Sir Charles slipped up again. So,
oh Lord!
What's that? You and your wife like to us back around. Look what Mrs. Alfred in the chat. Charles, he know you is he know you the code. You know, Charles is yellow. That's why Minister Sora saying contact him personally. She like Bacchanal.
I don't know that.
No, he used the WhatsApp number.
Okay.
Okay, so we had it's so weird. The phone just started to ring, and my Alexa, and it said call from daddy. I have no daddy. What? Call from daddy? Look, there it goes again. Call from daddy. Who the hell is daddy?
What's the Big Daddy?
I don't know who that is. It didn't say Big Daddy, it says daddy. Is there a heavenly call happening?
Oh, but be that.
Is God getting back at me for saying bad talking is flood?
And one more note coming in as while Richard was talking in between there before he gives you some. One more note from
Wait, what a bad talk my flood?
I will call you.
One more note coming in there from Archbishop Ashton Clark while Richard was talking.
Okay. As Bishop,
right. What is the vote? What is the vote, Sir Charles? What is the vote?
No.
All right, so we had 45 people voting on the poll this morning. Out of the 45 people, 35 of you said no, you were not surprised, and 10 of you said yes, we were surprised. So the nays have it, they were not surprised about the lack of certain officials being at the function. So, well, it is what it is.
Well, when you think about
35 people said no, and 10 people said yes, for a total of 45 people. The nays have it this morning, and that's the end of the poll for this morning. The polling is now done.
I hope it's just not in the same vein as the cancellation of the Independence Day, and the stupid reasons came out because for that.
How you reach Friday?
No, because the Prime Minister was represented, Wendell.
Yeah, how you reach Friday?
General. So that's first of all, that's an unfair statement. And secondly, the leader of the opposition was also not there.
Yes, I know, and that's
so the comparison is spurious at best.
Yes.
Okay.
That's not a good comparison.
I can take my both, because Lord knows I get plenty. I can take my both.
You need daddy to call you on your phone now.
I wish I had.
I had to see who I have on my phone. Anyway, that's weird.
Well, we did have a guest. We did have a guest lineup. We spoke to several people over the last few days. I did send the link to former Minister Robert LeHunt, who had sent me a slew of messages over the weekend, and I knew he would have contacted you too, Richard. Minister Julian John, we also had agreed to speak with us, but she had to put off for this morning because she has another clashing appointment. And who was the third person, Sir Charles?
Peter Canai.
And Peter Canai from the NCC, who also promised to speak with us. So I guess you'll be our guest this morning if anyone else has any issues. But I mean, we could do Minister Swarat Singh now if he wants. If you want to give him a call on the phone, Sir Charles, and tell him, let's talk a bit about that marijuana story. Because I know that would interest a lot of people, in terms of government's commitment.
But there's plenty where we get to. So I will set up the interview properly.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be more respectful rather than a sudden.
All right. So you want to see him on camera.
Yeah, and all of that. But it's interesting. It's an interesting conversation in terms of what I will call the industrialization of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I know Jamaica is years ahead of us with regard to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see what the plans are in terms of mobilizing that sector, because it's a sector.
Mm-hmm.
And see where that goes and what the plans are for where it should go. But in a broader context, there's also a yet untapped issue of untapped industrialization, I should say, for herbal medicine and the Caribbean studying herbal medicine. I know Jamaica does it to a certain degree. I don't know how much Trinidad does it. Remember the Ministry of Agriculture in Trinidad was at one point, well, what's it called? Did I say Ministry of Agriculture? Not the Ministry of Agriculture. The Agricultural Department of UAE. I forget what they used to call it. There was a name years ago.
For what? What is that?
It used to be world renowned, in terms of the research in agriculture that was taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. There was a name for it. It was also, part of it was in Centennial, down that side, but it was world renowned, and we lost that acclaim over the years, but it was world renowned at one point. In terms of feeding into what I was talking about, the industrialization of herbal medicine, which has become a mammoth industry in terms of that natural medicine. You could see it even in the vitamin aisles.
Doctors don't talk that talk at all.
Yeah, but the vitamin aisles of pharmacies even have them now. You will see all sorts of things related to that herbal medicine industry, where people are going to natural healing, looking at things that naturally can heal the human body, even in terms of you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All of the stuff that you see. Of course, you have some health stores in Trinidad and Tobago that do sell them, but a lot of it is imported.
Yeah.
And I don't know which countries in the Caribbean are looking at that as an industry to further diversify into. But it kind of is connected to what you just read about the industrialization, what I'm calling the industrialization of marijuana and medical marijuana, which is related to that industry, because it will be part of it.
But the minister did say in the article, it is something that is on the agenda for us to pursue. He said you would not see that item in the budget because it is going to be done government to government, and we are looking to bring international investors or private investors into the business. So it's not a budgeted item.
Yeah.
All right.
But which is what they explained to with regard to the revitalization blueprint. They're saying that a lot of that, it's not included in the budget because a lot of it is going to be external financing and public-private partnerships. It's not so much state money to be budgeted for in the budget itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be arrangements in getting that kind of financing to build mega projects. In terms of that vision that was revealed on, was it Friday? It was Friday, I think. No,
Yeah.
Thursday. It was Thursday.
Last Thursday, yeah.
Thursday.
But I wonder how Canada, because he's saying Canada, he said Canada was being considered as a key partner given its experience and technological lead in the industry, and said that one of their roles would be to review the current legislation governing the industry and suggest what needed to be revised so that Trinidad and Tobago could establish. I wasn't aware that Canada was so big in marijuana.
Yeah, I think they have a thriving industry in regard to that.
Mhm.
You remember this was something that the PNM was to articulate and get into in terms of the industrialization of marijuana, but they just never did. They just
after decriminalizing it.
Yeah, after they decriminalized it, that was the next step.
It's talk,
But they
stopped.
never got further than talk.
Yeah, as Lincoln would say, promises never materialize.
But you can open up the lines in the interim. The numbers are there, so you can open up the lines.
And we have a couple of people calling online, so let's go to the lines one time. Virginia, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, gentlemen, and thank you again for, putting me on here, right? If you allow me, just 4 very, very quick points here. The last point has to do with my appreciation for my welfare and concern after last Tuesday's disaster expressed by many. But first and foremost, that video, Wendell, no, I am not politicizing that awesome video, that pretty good news that Richard put on. While I say, well, I don't look at it as good news, it's reality. And why I say it is a classic example of what sycophantism is all about. And people don't care whether it, once it's their party or their leader or whatever, they keep watering that little plant or little tree until it actually hangs them. So that's why I was making the synonymous comparison to sycophantism, whether yellow, red, Democrat, Republican. Hey, and Richard, you are quite right. The 4 greatest polluters in the world, right? Ivan, as we call the Ruskies, the Russians, the Chicums, the communist Chinese, India, definitely so, and last but not least, who is the other one? And Gavin Newsom, nobody's from the Trump administration will be there because Gavin Newsom is there to represent. Well, it's called the United States of America, so California is a little state on its own, but federally they're part of the U.S. So he's there to represent California, as Schwarzenegger says it, but also to represent Gavin Newsom 2028. So for president, that's part of the plan. Third, Memorial Park. It's a shame. And Wendell, across from the Memorial Park, I call it square now. Across from Memorial Park is the RAF club, former RAF members, of which we lost a great one maybe 1 or 2 years ago, Ulrich Cross and Ace, and they actually made a movie about that. And it's the RAF club across the street from Memorial Park, and it doesn't surprise me with some of the amateurs that we have here in the current, administration. Some, not all of them. And at least I am not surprised that Father, well, I know his father Suwat Singh, but I'm not surprised that the minister who texted in, I'm not surprised that he was there, because as a man who wore the uniform, he has a greater appreciation of it. And they don't have to be a live caller to do anything, because every country who has been involved in World War I, World War II, including Trinidad in whatever capacity, as Richard said, right? We have to honor what they did, the ultimate sacrifice, because we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have today. Well, I know that's debatable, but still. So that's what it is. And last but not least, thank you all for the folks who said, hey, quoting Wendell, I find one of the well quiet. That's last Wednesday, right? Yeah. But yes, I was, you know, in my little fetal position, nude on the floor with my thumb in my mouth and, you know, crying.
Yeah.
Psych, not. So, right? But I definitely blame the Republicans because this is a fact, folks. Look, New York is a given. California is a given. Blue states, Virginia. Let me tell you something. I blame the Republicans because many conservatives, Republicans, independents, and even some Democrats who were part of November last year didn't come out and vote. And you know what was the final nail in the coffin? How can you tell how Trump, especially Trump, I'm blaming him, he has a lot of responsibility for this. How can you tell us to vote for Andrew Cuomo, the guy who has been one of the main architects for the demise not over throughout the US, but even in New York? So New York City, Republicans, independents, and even Democrats who would have normally voted didn't come out. And you have it endorsed in Curtis Seelroy. You see, he's an outsider. And he won his primary against another Republican to be on the ballot. But I guess Curtis, not from, you know, you like to call him the 1%. Let's call him the 1%, yeah. The donor class and all that, a regular guy. That's why I tell you that it's a uniparty when it comes to keeping outsiders out. So that's why it is, Republicans. So take that to the bank. Anyway, guys, thanks again for allowing me the opportunity. And you guys take care, okay? Cheers.
Take care. I want to provoke it. Your party going now. They're going now.
Mr. Patrick, good morning.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Kim. Mr. Richard, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Mr. Patrick, don't tell me you was in World War I too, and you're still alive. I can't take it if you tell me that.
Nah, I know.
Oh, finally something you didn't do.
I know. But that documentary you showed this morning, Richard Agba thing, that reality, you know, because up to Friday I was telling somebody, sometimes you fix things to your own detriment, you know. You know that one there?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're fixing a relationship, but go way out of that, but you want to fix it. That's it. And when you don't fix it, you end up in problem down the road. So not everything is supposed to fix and everything is supposed to water outside it. Right. No, I was going to talk about the vision and see the UNC government have. The vision with the high-rising quotas in London. When that wasn't something they discussed 10 years back under the PM government.
It was under Mr. Manning.
Under Mr. Manning, revitalizing forest state and all them vision there.
Yeah.
And that's not the same 2020 vision.
And I can't say if it's the same thing, but a lot of it resembles what Mr. Manning would have presented.
No, it's a modification of the 2020 vision.
Mm-hmm.
Because I listened to things where was discussed and they had big march and organization for them not to move the people because they think they got to come back, they got to pay more rent. And I think, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So, they rip up the document on one hand and they bring a modification on the other hand.
Call it politics, Mr. Patrick. Politics. Well, call it what you want, bro.
If people throw their mind back, Julian John was part of Mr. Manning's plan. She was also part of Mr. Manning's plan in terms of what he was putting forward back in the day.
Yeah. Because
hello? Are you there?
You have short memory.
Richard, you speaking to us?
No, and my mic was giving a little trouble, so you're hearing me, right?
Yes,
yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah, I think part of it, I think
I
think some of it has been modified and it's been expanded, and I think because obviously the whole issue of the Tamina E-Park being converted now into all prison campus, let's put it that way. Obviously, they've made a decision that Tamina E-Park be now converted, because that was supposed to be our technology hub at one point under the Vision 2020, and they have now converted that real estate into proposed prison park or whatever you want to call it, with a judicial center and stuff like that, and then convert all of the various prison facilities now into income generating or housing or whatever else that they figure in terms of their vision. Some of it I think would be kind of related to 2020, but I think it has been repurposed because Invaders Bay was never clear. That has always been murky under the PNM and what they were going to do with it. Like, they didn't know what the hell to do with it, quite frankly, because it was something that I know Derek Chin at the time was advocating for the expansion of Movie Town, and they had all sorts of bids and back and forth with Invaders Bay. And the only thing that happened with Invaders Bay was they kind of built out the infrastructure with roads and stuff to a certain degree. But nothing else happened. You didn't know whatever plans there were. It was always murky as to what was going to happen there. Sea Lots was supposed to be much more built up than it is, if I remember Patrick Manning's plan.
Airport, not so?
No, Sea Lots was supposed to be, they were building up a lot of high-rise buildings there, if I remember from that plan. Their plan is not that, it's that it becomes more of a free trade zone area or something like that, according to the plan originally. So if I'm remembering it correctly.
Why do I remember
the health cities weren't part of the Vision 2020 as far as I remember it, in the way that the UNC is rolling it out. So it seems to be utilizing some of it, but expanding on it in other areas, using what infrastructure is there now and expanding on it. My only concern, well, I have two concerns. I felt Arima was left out, but that's just me as an Arimian. So, you know me, I always like, okay, where's Arima in all of this? That's where my brain goes. That's one. Obviously, the mayor and the borough council, the brain doesn't go there because nobody said anything. Sorry, let me speak proper English.
The MP neither.
Or the MP didn't say anything, and she's the leader of the opposition. But where's Arima in all of this? And might I suggest, and also, you know what I found strange? That I didn't see any indication of the digital hub or a technology hub in terms of research and development, which is where the rest of the plan is going. In terms of certain areas that certain countries have designated to be in those kind of technological hubs. I know there's certain countries in Africa that are doing it, and I was wondering where was that not, because that's what Tamina E-Park was supposed to be. And if you are repurposing it into being that prison campus, I'm calling it a prison campus, what happens to that technological component? Are we not pursuing that anymore? Because our proximity to Latin America, I always felt should be used to our advantage. And the fact that we have so many Venezuelans living here, I've always felt that they should have been brought into more seriously and more methodically into the productive economy in a definitive way, because they are a resource in terms of, even if you're going for tourism rollout, which they are, by the amount of hotels that you would have seen in terms of that plan, how do you leverage that you have so many Spanish speakers here to make them part of the productive economy to take the country forward in terms of that Latin American market? How can you leverage it? And I don't know if the Economic Advisory Board is. So it's not just a matter of, oh, let's deport them. It's a resource. And it's a human resource that's potentially productive. So how do you leverage it and see it as an asset rather than a negative?
And that is probably why. And that's probably why we'll be able to ask Mr. Suratso if we get to speak with him about that, because I think he's part of that advisory board also that is supposed to be charting a whole different.
But he's Minister of Planning, so he has a big role to play.
So it have plenty we could probably get out of that interview. All right, caller, welcome.
Morning, gentlemen. I just want to clarify my position. I wasn't saying that was my opinion. I consider the World War I and II generation, particularly World War II, as the greatest generation. So I don't think if I was alive that time, I would have volunteered to go and fight in any war. Right? My point was that I have two young adults and a teenager. And for all the time they were in primary school, they never, like in my time, every November you had to buy your puppies, as Mr. Stevens rightly said, and then Red Cross, the little Red Cross paper flags with the pin on the thing. There were two things I remember throughout the entirety of my primary school education in the 70s and the 80s, and in my secondary school, the puppy. That was a mandatory thing. Every year you had to buy that. My point was that for many people in our society, that is not important. That is what I meant. But my opinion is that these people are the greatest generation. In fact, I wanted to be in the military because of my interest in World War II, watching documentaries, reading magazines, and so on and so forth. I remember the 40th anniversary of the D-Day landing commemoration. I had the Time magazine. My aunt sent it to me away from, you know what I mean? When they said Time magazine and so on. So I particularly am grateful for the sacrifice of these people. I'm just saying that it appears to me to be a watering down of the presence of what veterans will have done for us, World War I and II, and in this space. So in people's consciousness, it is not there as it was before. You understand? So I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
And in terms of the revitalization plan, the only thing that is not there is the Trinidad project for the rapid rail to link south and
East-West corridor.
Yeah, that is the only thing that is different from what was rolled out. I am saying I agree with what it may mean for the country, but my whole thing is the financing of it. Because remember, when we rolled out Vision 2020, we were in a gas boom. Let's not forget that. And the same people who are rolling out the revitalization plan from the UNC was saying that he was overheating the economy and people couldn't buy material to build a house and all kind of thing because all the steel was going on in waterfront. Remember that stupid logic? And there were people championing that.
But,
so that is my only thing.
But let me ask you a question, Kuala. Even if you call it stupid logic and somebody bring that stupid logic, what stopped the other administration from going ahead with the plans?
The majority they had in Parliament and the non-support of wider and civic society. Remember, there were people like for Raymond and other bodies, the Transparency, TTI, Trinidad and Tobago. You had people waiting to stand by to protest and all kind of thing. Don't forget that.
Yeah, no, but but with some of those things that you are talking about, if they are bringing forward a plan, then they must know that taking the constitution, you will get pushed back here. And we go.
Charles, in the last couple of days since the parliament roll-out, you have heard nothing from those persons about that. I remember after Raymond having a big campaign about the plan that direction had for in the back there by the movie town, and the government had come out and said we have no preferred bidder. We are considering several people who have put forward plans.
They have always
the back there.
They have always been very murky about Invaders Bay. And,
Thanks very much,
happening. And a lot did not happen. A lot of the talk, even, and of course, Dr. Rowley was I can't say he was no fan, but he said that it was not financially viable at the time to do the monorail, which we were in big support of. Rapid rail. It was a monorail, wasn't it? But the rapid rail project, which I think a lot of Trinidadians wanted, because I think it is the one project that would get people to leave their cars at home once it was efficient. And you were zipping into Port of Spain in no time. But they never went that. They said they were going to dedicated bus lanes or something like that on the highway. That never happened. You never see no dedicated bus lane. They talk, nothing happened. Tell me a lie.
No, you're not lying.
And they blame everybody else for their plans not happening.
You know what I always get the impression of with that movie tongue area though? It was meant as an area to wheel and deal. That particular area, you always get the impression that it was being used by whoever. I don't know who. I can't call no names, to wheel and deal. That particular area. because it was such prime property that it was seen as enriching somebody or some people. That area. That is how I get that.
But you know what has always been my concern, Wendell? How slowly we move. The rest of the world is pushing and moving at a pace, especially the very competitive countries. They are the ones that are very competitive, move at a pace and making decisions and moving ahead. And we have a kind of languid way that we have to discuss this, we have to discuss. And I remember when we had that meeting with Dr. Rowley in the room, and I spoke to Dr. Rowley about that. I said, you all have all the plans in the world, but you'll implement badly.
Terrible.
And he admitted it. He said that there was an implementation problem, but it was something that to approach in a particular way. But in terms of countries, even though by certain world standards, Trinidad and Tobago is considered developed and not third world, but our ability to implement stuff and move the country forward in a particular way and quickly has always been an issue.
Yeah.
Always. I don't know how quickly they can move forward with their plans and what their vision is, but I wish them all the luck in the world.
Richard,
in terms of it moving quickly.
I remember posting right after 2010 to 2015 will still go down in record as probably the most corrupt period of governance we've had in Trinidad and Tobago. I remember posting 2015 when the government changed. Rapid rail and rapid jail. Neither happened. I say no more.
No.
Caller, very quickly. Richard, hold 1 minute. Caller, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. So Charles, it's so difficult to get on you guys.
Yeah.
Last week, Monday, we had Dr. Otley, I think within the afternoon program with the other gentleman.
Yeah, Tony
in
Fraser.
reference to Lord Shorty. I think he has a book about Lord Shorty. And my question to Richard, being the lawyer on there, if Shorty invented soca music, that is his material, or that is his thing, or it is he claims ownership to it. Shouldn't the soca artists be paying him some royalties or something like that for their performances using his genre of music, soca music? Because it was an interesting conversation last week, and Dr. Otley went deep down into it, and Sir Charles accompanied him playing some good calypso. And I was trying to get involved.
A genre of music. I don't think you can own a genre of music. You can own the intellectual property of what you directly create. Yeah. But even if I want to,
Isn't he directly created it? Isn't he directly created it?
No, you directly created a song that you called a particular genre, or a new genre was born. It's just like the person who created reggae music, which they say really originated from ska music and calypso. So they say really calypso created reggae. That's what they say. Some purists claim that. But let's say Mr. A created reggae music. It doesn't mean that you're paying Mr. A indefinitely for reggae music. Whoever created rock music, and rock music was arguably created out of the black culture, doesn't mean that person gets paid by the Rolling Stones every time they make a song. It's untenable. And I don't think any court would accept that argument. A court would restrict it to what you created intellectually that belongs to you. I may create a sci-fi book. I may create Star Wars. That doesn't mean that the Empire Strikes Back has to pay me money because I created the first story about space. Not tenable.
Yeah.
It's too broad.
Okay, hold it right there, people, and we will be back right after the news.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio in Gael, Caribbean. I'm Derek. Good day. President Christine Kangaloo says peace is becoming increasingly elusive in today's world. She was speaking at the Rotary Club of Central Port of Spain's 25th Model United Nations debate, themed Peace and Human Rights, the president said the program arrives at a critical moment globally, with wars raging in Ukraine, Sudan, and Gaza, among others. She said by exposing young people in Trinidad and Tobago and the region to diplomacy, the model UN helps them become advocates for peace. Kangaloo also noted that harsh public discourse locally makes peace-building difficult, but urged students to persevere, saying difficult does not mean impossible. UN Resident Coordinator Joanna Kazana-Wisniewski added that young people are vital to peace and security, and called on them to defend human dignity wherever they go. San Fernando East MP Brian Manning says the UNC's new Trinidad and Tobago revitalization blueprint is Patrick Manning's Vision 2020 by another name. Responding to the plan unveiled by Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Works Minister Geraldine John, Manning accused the UNC of recycling ideas they once criticized, including major waterfront and infrastructure projects. He recalled that Persad-Bissessar, while in opposition, labeled his father's developments reckless spending on monuments, but is now proposing similar mega projects in Port of Spain and San Fernando. Manning also questioned how the government plans to fund what he called multi-billion-dollar visions, saying the UNC had previously undermined revenue-generating projects like the aluminium smelter and Sandals Resort. Reports have surfaced that several U.S. military drones were detected flying above and around Trinidad and Tobago last month, some within miles of the Venezuelan coast, and at least one directly over the country. According to data shared by the New York Times, at least 4 MQ-9A Reaper drones were tracked within the nation's airspace in mid-October. The Times said the drones were detected through radio transmissions between U.S. military pilots and regional air traffic control towers. Government officials have not confirmed granting permission for such flights. Minister of Foreign Affairs Sean Sobers said investigations were ongoing, while Defense Minister Wayne Sturge has yet to comment. The sightings come amid a major U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean, linked to operations targeting narco-trafficking and increased tensions with Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago's ongoing blood shortage crisis is once again under scrutiny, following the death of 25-year-old UWI medical student Alexandra Kong. Her family had issued a desperate appeal for blood just days before she passed away on Wednesday. Health Minister Dr. Lakran Bodo says the ministry is expanding national campaigns to encourage voluntary donations, admitting that shortages remain a serious challenge. Anthony Blake, CEO of the Northwest Regional Health Authority, added that maintaining a consistent supply requires public and corporate support. Advocates say Alexandra's death exposes deeper problems, from delays in diagnosis to limited resources and hospital inefficiencies. Natalie George Sabga of the John E. Sabga Memorial Foundation says her foundation will now push for stronger blood donation efforts and urgent healthcare reform. Alexandra's mother says her daughter was a gem, whose story should inspire real change. Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin, who serves as Gold Commander for Christmas 2025 and Carnival 2026, chaired a high-level meeting with key stakeholders on November 7th to map out strategies for crime reduction and public safety in Port of Spain. The meeting brought together Mayor Chinua Aline, senior police officers, and community representatives to strengthen collaboration as the Christmas crime plan rolls out. Among the key issues discussed were increased police patrols, especially in Woodbrook, between 3 and 6 a.m., better crowd and traffic management around major venues like the Queen's Park Savannah, and stronger communication with the public about road changes and events. The session also addressed illegal parking, robberies, and street crimes, while calling for continued professional conduct and visible police presence across the district. DCP Martin thanked all stakeholders for their support and reaffirmed the TTPS's commitment to maintaining safety, order, and public confidence during the busy Christmas and Carnival seasons. In international news, Typhoon Fangwang has slammed into the Philippines as a super typhoon, forcing the evacuation of more than 900,000 people and leaving at least 2 dead. The storm, packing winds of up to 230 kilometers per hour, made landfall in Aurora province on Luzon last night, bringing destructive winds and life-threatening storm surges. Officials warn of severe flooding and landslides, with up to 200 millimeters of rain expected across parts of Luzon, including Metro Manila. Flights have been canceled, airports shut, and thousands are sheltering in evacuation centers. The disaster comes just days after Typhoon Kalmegi devastated parts of the country, killing nearly 200 people. Authorities have declared a state of calamity, giving emergency powers to speed up relief efforts as Feng Wang continues to move northwest toward Taiwan. And that is news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Ho, ho, ho! This Christmas, small businesses, this one's just for you. Get your brand, your product, your business in front of thousands every single day on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. And here's the gift you've been waiting for. Radio and television advertising has never been more affordable anywhere else. We are talking unbelievable real rates. Prices no one else can offer you for primetime slots that put your business right where your customers are watching and listening. So, call us today at 299-5156 and turn your Christmas into real results and real profits with affordable advertising so you too can say Merry Christmas.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair. We do it all.
There's no Christmas like Christmas on New Era TT Radio.
The other day I went Venezuela and I fall in love with a señorita. I hardly know the lingo, but I really know what she know.
It's a time for giving, caring, and sharing.
It's things like this that get me mad. Who stole the rubbish from my yard?
A time for loving and remembering what really matters most. Greater than from our family to yours, Merry Christmas and a blessed season from New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Your only found to watch corn is coming to an end. Beginning with the final 2 at Cipriani College on Saturday the 15th of November at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 16th at 6:30 p.m. to see the funniest play of the year at Cipriani College. Final 2 shows. Tickets available at K-Squared Fashions, West Mall, Eastgate, Brentwood, Jubilee Railway to Napuna, Electronics Ariba, and Tony's Florals, Val Park, and Sharpley Order Services. Box office at Cipriani College opens from Wednesday the 12th of November, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Don't miss the number 1 play of 2025.
All right, so we are back in our closing off minutes of the breakfast show.
A lot of videos of accidents, a lot of things with accidents and bad accidents too.
I don't know what you're talking about because that doesn't come up in my stream.
Yeah, oh man.
You have
Well,
a
I
very,
mean,
I very negative human stream.
No, I get the Ian. I get the Ian Allen network because a lot of stuff I send to you all is coming from that Ian Allen network. Yeah.
Once you log on to it, I said,
yeah,
felt everything at you.
And of course, a lot of people sending him information is not necessarily him, but a lot of accidents lately, plenty accidents.
Just before we go, because as the caller raised the situation with the music and stuff, because there's something I had a discussion with a couple of years ago. I did a program with that where we were at 1 or 2 at a time with members of the Copyright Association. I brought all of them together to talk about some stuff with Carnival, and that was one of the things that we spoke about. And just to let the caller know that a genre isn't something that anybody can own. You just like all the genres, soca, reggae, hip hop, pop, you name it, all of them evolve kind of naturally through culture and creative collaborations over time. And they are all collective art forms, and they're shaped by a lot of communities, social movements, and multiple artists, and not a single inventor in a legal sense. And even if someone is credited as a pioneer, for instance, Rashwati, and even on that program that we spoke about it, while one person really would say, well, I believe it was not definite who already created it, because other people, just like Pan with Spree Simon. So when you look at soca or whether it's Rashwati or whether it's like in other, they don't legally own the genre or they receive royalties. Even if every time someone performs that music in the style, they don't receive any royalties. What they get as for royalties is if somebody uses their particular song, so they are paid royalties on their song, but they do not get paid for the genre as a creator of it. So I just felt that I should probably let the caller know that, because these are things that come up every now and then.
I can't explain all of that.
I'm glad Richard is saying it, because
I didn't want to interrupt your echo, but I kind of said all of those things.
I'm not going to tell you about Richard when I've said all that. Sometimes Charles has been sleeping on the show, I feel it.
No, sometimes, all right, okay, I miss some of this stuff, but yeah.
No, but so Charles, I have to tell you though, you articulated it a lot better than Richard. Okay?
Thanks. Give him a win. Another thing about the government's blueprint that I wondered about too was I didn't see Tobago, and I wondered if whatever mega projects are being planned for Tobago, they maybe wanted to consult with the THA, because THA is kind of like their partner, or is it that they're waiting to see what the THA results would be? I don't know.
I'm sure that's what happened. Tobago don't need no more mega projects. Dr. Rowley and the last PNM government do all the mega things in Tobago. The last mega thing was the airport.
The only mega project that was the airport. What else?
No, they've had several others in Roxborough and so on.
The hospital?
Yeah. They've had other things. Now, Tobago looks nice,
I'm talking about like hotel stock and stuff. I know they talked about re-engaging Sandals.
Right, and that was dropped after the elections, eh?
Well, I don't know if they're still re-engaging Sandals. I want to assume they are, because Tobago is obviously.
And they gone back to St. Vincent, and the same one was Tobago.
They went to St. Vincent. I know they're building something in St. Vincent. But anyway, we'll see how it all plays out. But Tobago was an obvious gap to me, because they concentrated on Trinidad in terms of that revitalization plan. I can't, and maybe I'm subject to correction, I can't remember seeing anything about Tobago. Maybe there was, and I missed it.
No, look at Texter. Somebody in the chat just said, but he's saying calmly, we try to be respectful. But the Prime Minister said Tobago projects will be announced at a later date.
Oh, okay, I missed that statement.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking, that they would want to do it in consultation with the THA, because that's one of their kind of partners informally in terms of the alliance.
Yeah.
And So you would see what happened. But I felt a little peeved that Arima was left out of it because, as usual, Central Trinidad was going to be one of the new kind of government hubs, which is probably Shogunas, which, with all due respect to Shogunas, I mean, fine, it's the largest residential hub in the country, but also as an Arima, and I want to know about what's going to happen in Arima. So if they want to put a technological hub, if they're thinking of that at all, they could probably do it in Arima and maybe in the Mary Industrial Estate.
Well, with the national beggar? Is that how we describe themselves?
Who?
You can't remember when we interviewed him?
Are you talking about the mayor of Arima?
He wants to be referred
I was talking about there's an MP for Arima
Mm-hmm.
who should be able to articulate stuff for Arima on that level. But I know the PNM's position thus far, at least from ComEmber and stuff, is basically where are they getting money from?
Well, the people who we sometimes some people refer to them as a certain percent, they came out and supported it fully. You know, they were all there sitting in the front row.
Yeah, and the diplomatic corps was there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the diplomatic corps is short for everything.
You know, but I like brash visions and the go-get-me attitude of people who have brass visions. I'm not saying they have the go-get-me attitude yet. You'll have to wait and see.
Jillian John has that.
Jillian John certainly has that. Jillian John has that. But I like that kind of thing, like how Patrick Manning went after a particular vision of how we saw Trinidad and Tobago. And I always mention that. He was one with a clear vision of where the country needed to go, and he went after it. He alienated a lot of people doing it, but he went after it. And I think that's how you have to do what you have to do sometimes to really get dramatic change.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. It's out there now, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah,
and certainly Jillian John was very emphatic in that presentation about not only talking the talk, but walking it and making sure that these projects are initiated.
Yeah, remember Jillian John worked a lot with Calder Hart back then, who was the one who was implementing that vision of Mr. Manning. She worked alongside him, so she understands what needs to be done. And if she gets the support of a prime minister, which is what Calder Hart got from Mr. Manning, once she has the support of a prime minister in Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who has already shown that she favors Jillian John, right? Then fine, all the best, all kudos to her in getting some things done, you know.
Rapid rail would be good too if they could bring that back.
Yeah, well, they will start saying that was, you know, once you name something the same thing or you go along, the politics get involved. You know,
all the plans are there. It's just a matter of the financing, and well, they will always say, well, I wouldn't say they will always say. I know Dr. Rowley said it wasn't feasible. I don't know if it wasn't feasible in terms of the money Trinidad and Tobago needed to roll it out. It wasn't feasible that even if it was built, was it sustainable? In terms of what you're going to charge people to commute.
But if we real, Richard, right? When Dr. Rowley took over in 2015, the economy was going down. And then he had to encounter COVID in 2020. And he had a tough time as Prime Minister in terms of getting anything really done, financially wise. He had a tough time, but I had told him, and I told him to his face, that he backed down too easily on the Sandals project. You understand? He backed down too easily on that. So coming to tell me after is the opposition, they make so much noise, they run Sandals. No, get it done. To hell with the opposition at the time. But so I don't know how the opposition was so powerful then that they scuttled so many things. They were able to scuttle smelter. They were able to scuttle the shipyard project. They were able to scuttle so many things. Why? So what?
Weakness.
Yeah.
Weak. Feeble. Feeble leadership.
Where's that you saying it?
You calling the PNM feeble and weak?
Leadership.
I hear.
At that point,
my eye big. As big as it could go?
Yes, because if they come with ideas on projects and letting people scout all the projects, the week.
Well, it's Well,
That's
we go
all.
find out. We go find out.
A lot of opinions this morning, Sir Charles. You have a lot of opinions. Them vitamin tablets real working.
Let's see a live version of Sir Charles instead of that green shirt.
Yes,
Those are yellow shirt.
whatever tablets you take, it real working.
That's what they'll go to from the time Ian, like what you're saying. You want to see a shirt, you want to see your underwear. Else you want to see
people at the accent.
You want to see your underwear?
Last time you wanted to see my underwear.
Yeah, I disagree with you. No, you're talking nonsense. You know what? You're talking nonsense. Show me your underwear. What?
No, you're not talking the color code that he wants. Like, yeah, you know. I love it.
As Miss Sampson will say, that's all right, Charlie.
Anyway, this is where we wrap up the breakfast. I just want to remind people, of course, that your Don't Leave Foul to Watch corner is on this weekend. We're down to our final 3 shows. 2 shows at Cipriani College. So the last 2 shows in North Trinidad are on this weekend, Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. And of course, on the 6th of December is our final show, which will be in Sapa in San Fernando. But this weekend is where we're at. The box office at Cipriani College opens from Wednesday, 12 noon to 6 p.m. days to get your tickets. You should not miss this play. Trust me. So many new people came out to this play who've never come to the theater before. It was really astonishing. So many. And of course, our tickets available now at Electronics in Arima. Yes, they have tickets. For those of you who are wondering, Electronics has tickets. Jabili Rawi in Tunapuna has tickets. And Tony's Florals in Val Park Shopping Plaza has tickets. K Squared Fashions in East Gates has tickets. K Squared Fashions in West Mall has tickets. And K Squared Fashions in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas also has tickets. As well as Chanflair Auto Services in, well, you guessed it, Chanflair. So they all have tickets. You can also purchase tickets online. Check RSRR Productions Theater. You have to put the theater, else you will be taken down a rabbit hole, trust me. So RSRR Productions Theater on social media, Facebook, Insta, or TikTok, and you can see the methodology in purchasing tickets online. Have a fantastic Monday morning and a Monday day in whatever you do. We know it's the beginning of the work week, which can be a little depressing for some people. But you know what? Hopefully we made you smile a little bit this morning, so that puts you in a better mood. So have a fantastic day. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
Yeah, folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. Remember this one life. You got to live it.
And of course, New Era TT Radio continues on newerattradio.com and New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. So you could, talk to your smart devices and have it on for the entire day, because excellent programming throughout the day. But this is where we wrap it up this morning. This has been the Breakfast Show.
All right.
Let me hear you, Sir Charles. This has been
the Breakfast Show.
Some yellowish there, boy.
That was borderline scary.
Bye, guys. Don't forget tomorrow we're going to talk about the shutdown in the United States. We're going to have one of our guests as someone who is a fan of the show. He lives out there in Washington, D.C. He's going to tell us about the effects it's having on the people out there. All right? Take care.
All right. So, Wendell, this has been
The Breakfast Show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned